This is now an MIT headline about MIT study finds AI can already replace 11.7% of the US workforce. You read that and you assume, okay, wow, 1 in 10 people are going to be out of their jobs very shortly because of artificial intelligence. So there might be. There might actually be, but not because of this research. The way it's been reported is problematic, especially this headline. I've seen people discussing this saying MIT changed their mind because I think it was beginning of this year, there was another study from MIT NANDA, which was saying 95% of AI pilot projects fail. That was an incredibly flawed study. It wasn't even a study, it was a report. And that 95% was taken out of context to argue against artificial intelligence. Now we're seeing the same thing with this new headline. It's going to replace 11.7%, used to argue AI is very effective. They both come from MIT, so people are like, oh, MIT don't know what they're talking about. In both of these cases, the reports, nobody's reading them. They are just taking the headline figures and they're running with those figures without applying any critical faculty. So we're going to try and do better. We're going to look at these numbers because it is not what it seems. And I'm sorry, but statistics sometimes get in the way of what we want to be true. Here we go. MIT study finds AI can already replace 11.7% of the US workforce. This is the CNBC headline. This is incorrect. They either don't understand the study statistics, or Miss Mackenzie Sigalos is being willfully obtuse in order to get a headline that's going to get people to click on it and talk about it, which is what we're doing now. Very dishonest. Massachusetts Institute of Technology released a study that found artificial intelligence can already replace 11.7% of the labor market. No, they did not. The study was conducted using a labor simulation tool called the Iceberg Index, created by MIT. For lawmakers preparing billion-dollar reskilling and training investments, the index offers a detailed map of where disruption is forming down to the zip code. Okay, that's fine. It's that headline that we have problems with. It is not talking about 11% of the workforce. Massachusetts MIT on Wednesday released a study that found that artificial intelligence can already replace 11.7% of the US labor market. So they're being a bit more cautious there instead of saying the workforce, or as much as $1 trillion in wages across finance, healthcare, and professional services. Okay, first point, this is just finance, healthcare, and professional services. So it's not the whole workforce of the US. All right, we've already got a bit of a problem here. We're looking at a particular set of industries, not the entire economy. The study was conducted using a labor simulation tool called Iceberg Index. So you can actually find it. If you go to iceberg.mit.edu, you can find Project Iceberg. And you can find also the original paper, Iceberg Index, Measuring Skill-Centered Exposure in the AI Economy. Much less of an exciting headline because the reality is not as sensational as it's been made out to be. So what they do with the Iceberg project, which is really cool, is they basically simulate the US economy. So they have agents which act as humans working within this economy, and they see what happens if 13,741 agents up against each other and simulate what that would look like moving forward. So it's a simulation. This is not reality, but the methodology is fascinating. The US labor force is worth $9.4 trillion with 151 employees. That's very confusing, MIT. You can do better than that. They've built these 13,000 agents which compete against each other. They work with each other and they simulate what the economy could look like. And they run multiple simulations and then they see which of these simulations seems most accurate, the averages, etc. I imagine, I need to dig into it, but I imagine 11.7% is their most dramatic.